All right, so let's see. Um, how do I want to begin this? We're going to go on an epic adventure, and here's what I think we should attend to is we're ultimately looking to make space in the body. That's our great objective, mostly because if there's space in the body, there's a little more space here and a little more space here. And the idea is that we will head towards something that is relatively unattainable. It's not totally unattainable, but it does require a sense of humor. So I hope that it's early enough to have a sense of humor. But don't worry about that because that's down the road. It's the future. So let's just begin by looking at, we're a little bit like a bellows today. We're a little bit like we draw into the midline and then we expand out. And we're just watching that relationship between coming in and going out. All right? So let's come to a comfortable seat. And we'll close the eyes for a moment in our seat. So glad you're here. I always appreciate seeing who's in the box. When you write who's in the box, that's so nice because then I can direct this class to you. So as we root the sit bones downward and we just gently grow the spine, we notice inside what we already have brought to our mat or our cushion this morning. How does the body feel in the summer morning? What's the breath like? Is there some exuberance and excitement in the body? Does it feel a little dull or lethargic? Is the breath long and smooth? Or short-winded, as they say? Just take everything into account, nothing to fix or change. This is the good news. The good news is nothing to fix or change. Good. Let's draw the palms together at the heart from here. Let's chant the Gayatri Mantra. If you know it, please join me. Om Bhur Swaha Tatsa Viturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Great. All right. Wonderful. So let's come on to our back. I want to give this the best chance that we have. So let's do a little bit of work lying on the back first. Wonderful. Let's bring the knees into the chest and give ourselves a hug. And a little bit of side-to-side motion just to feel what it's like on either side of the spine today. And we'll send the legs straight up just for a moment, flexing the feet. And we'll circle the ankles, paying attention to the fact that we're really kind of drawing in the air with our toes and going slow enough so that we can feel in to what's happening in there. And we'll switch directions. You might find that the hips go along with you just a little bit. We'll have it be a drawing event. Good, one more round. And then bend the knees, please. And take your hands just gently on your kneecaps And we'll stir the pot here, taking the legs away from us and then drawing the thighs to the right and toward the chest and over to the left. Good, big stir. And as you stir, will you draw your navel into your spine? Just notice that you can do that. That will be helpful. Yeah, a couple more. And then actually, as we come up toward the chest, let's reverse it, other direction. And you really can let yourself almost roll to the side as you go. So we're just kind of taking care of the sacrum here a little bit. Yeah, nice to just warm up. And last one, let's take the arms now out like cactus and allow the legs to just fall out to the left slowly as we look to the right. And we'll inhale, come back to center, and exhale, same thing, legs to the left as we look to the right. Inhale, rise up. And we're interested in the lateral fascia, the side, the whole side body. We're interested because, inhale, this is what we can feel right now, opening. Exhale down. Likely. Good. Inhale, come back up. And you might scoot your hips a little bit to the left. And then let's prepare for the other side. Exhaling, the face moves to the left. Legs slowly down. Inhale, back up. Exhale. Yeah. And coming back up. And noticing what's there this morning. Isn't it fascinating, the difference between noticing and creating a story about it? The story seems to generate itself, doesn't it? Good, let's do one more. Inhaling and exhaling. Wonderful. And then we come back up and take hold of the legs. You could cross the ankles if you like. And we will roll if that works for you. Inhale back, exhale forward. Treat it like a massage. Okay, one more time. And then the hands come to the floor in front of you. And we'll lift up. So round the upper back, draw the navel into the spine. Your feet are on the floor. You just want to get a sense of what would be required to lift the legs off at this point without likely doing it. And then step one foot at a time back and land on hands and knees. So on hands and knees, let's lengthen the spine. Inhale. Cow pose. Exhale, rounding. And inhale, it's almost like a little deep dive. Exhaling. And inhale. Can you initiate this from the sacrum so it becomes like a wave motion? Exhale. And one more. Furling and unfurling. Inhale, come back to center. There's a lot of furling and unfurling. Let's draw the left knee into center. Take your right leg forward and around so that you've got the right knee in front of the left knee and potentially the feet are out on either side of the mat. And we'll gradually walk the hips back. And then come forward again. And inhale, slowly draw the hips back. And we likely can feel the outside of the hips. And then forward again. Some of you might go farther back. You might even be able to bring the sit bones to the ground. But give the fascia on the sides of the hips a chance to just hydrate, okay? Saturday hydration. And then unwind that. Take left leg around right. And we inhale, take it back. And now we're tuning in to what we feel in the hips and maybe other places too. Okay, 2 more. You may find that there's a little bit more space growing here. Good, slowly come back up. Unwind that, please. Good, tuck toes under and back to downward facing dog. Walking your dog back and forth a little bit. Feeling in. Pressing the hands into the ground. Extend the pelvis up and back as high as you can. Some of you might want to have the knees bent just to create a little more length in the spine. Good. Inhale, exhale, bend your knees, look past your hands and step forward between the hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Let the head and neck soften. Let's do that again. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. Oh, 1 more. Inhale. Spine as long as you can make it. Hips back. Exhale, fold. Good. Let the head and neck just hang. Feel your feet root. Hug the bones of your legs. And let's take the arms back behind us, interlacing the fingers together. Draw the shoulder blades together. Inhale. Exhale, folding in. Knees can be bent. Belly and thighs have got a relationship going on here. They are close. Good. Really lift up and out. Drawing the blades together. Arms extend away from you. Inhale. Exhale, releasing your arms. Slowly, let's rise all the way up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Send the arms all the way up. Exhale, release. Come to mountain pose, standing in mountain. So feeling the feet root. Again, hugging the bones of the legs. Notice front side of the body and the back side of the body. Feel your head in relation to the rest of your body. And take into account the whole space of the body from the feet to the top of the head. Include the arms. Feel midline hugging. Good. Taking into account all of us and showing up. So let's inhale, take the arms all the way up. Exhale, folding forward, out and down. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, palms down. Now step back to plank pose and let's pause in plank with the hands under the shoulders. Push back through your heels. Spark your knees so they're quite strong, as are the quadriceps, front thighs. Little rounding in the upper back. Make space there. Breathe into the back of the lungs. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Knees down. And the whole torso comes to the floor. And let's rest on a cheek for a moment. Now we're going to just take, I'll do the left side first so you can see it. The left knee will come up. What is this like? We basically have a big external rotation of the left leg, right? So the knee is up. And this move is, I like to credit those where credit is due. This is a Tia's little move. The right leg will move to the right just a little bit, and you may feel that. So however much you decide to take it to the right is yours. And then your left shin is parallel with your torso. Okay, what it could feel like here is warrior two without the arms. You just got this warrior two shape. And you can tuck your right toes under and push through your heel. Feeling into that space for a moment. Sometimes the standing postures really benefit from being addressed first on the ground. The question is, how would we do it? And those of you who teach, that's a fascinating exercise to take each standing posture and find a way to approach the posture from different angles. Now we slowly take left leg back and right leg back, and then gradually draw right knee up, and you turn the right toes out, and the shin on the right leg is parallel with your torso, and then just walk the left leg out any amount, may not need to go very far. Tuck left toes under and push through your left heel. And we're waking up the adductors, aren't we? And the inner groin. And we breathe into that space. Yes, no stone left unturned, no fascia left untouched with our breath by the time this practice is finished. We inhale, exhale, release all of that. Good, take your hands now beneath your shoulders, fingers spread wide. Root your feet and root your legs. Inhale, pull the mat, lifting up just a little bit. Let's aerate top chest. Top of the lungs, legs press. Inhale, exhale, slowly we come down. Inhale, we rise back up. Exhale, slowly down. This time, take your arms back behind you, palms face the ceiling. Inhale, lift the chest. Root your legs though. Point your toes and keep your legs against the ground. All the while, drawing navel to spine. Inhale, exhale, hands under the shoulders, toes tuck under, back through puppy. Pause in puppy, draw the pelvis up and back. And then downward facing dog. Good. At the end of your next exhalation, keep the breath out. Draw your navel to your spine. And then relax the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Breath all the way out. Navel to spine. Relax the belly. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your knees, look past your hands. Step or float forward between your hands. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, push the ground away. Rise all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, chair pose. Now, if you happen to have a block nearby, you could take the block between the thighs and squeeze, so we can get a really good, strong sense of midline. If you have no block, pretend you have a block. Yes, nothing like a good block or thick dictionary. Between the thighs, just get that sense of outer hips drawing in. Good, maybe the hips lower a little bit. Then inhale, we rise up. Exhale, fold forward, out and down. Release your block. Then hands to shins, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, palms down, step or float back, lower through on the same breath, or knees and torso down. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Pressing the feet, exhale back. Now we'll sweep the right leg up and we will stack the hips, please. Keeping the right leg straight. Noticing the weight on your left foot. And reach through the ball of the right foot. Shoulders are level. Inhale, exhale, thigh to rib cage. As if you could kiss your knee. And then land your right foot. Pivot your left heel to the ground. Yes, indeed. Now we'll open out into Warrior Two. You might sit down for a moment. Heel to arch is nice. Some people like heel to heel. Awakening, opening, external rotation of the thighs. Arms extend. Feeling the mountain in this posture. Yeah, let's come down just a little deeper. And as we extend out, at the same time, we're drawing in to fuel the whole inside. As if the energy, we could pull the feet in toward each other, draw in so it almost feels as though right up. Inhale, exhale, hands to the ground, right leg back, meet in downward dog or take a vinyasa. Settling the breath, settling the body. Find the mountain pose here. Watching tide of breath. Left leg rises. We stack the hips. We notice what the arms did. We attempt to keep the shoulders level. We pull back through the left heel. Growing the space at the armpits especially. Inhaling. Exhale, thigh in close. As if you could kiss the knee. Rounding upper back, stretch the space between the blades. And then land the foot lightly. Right heel pivots. As we open out, sit down, check the hips, sinking, extending. So such a fascinating relationship between extending out and drawing in, on the mat and in life. A fine balance between being and doing and between action and deep rest. So we notice here with this huge expansion, can we rest? And the answer may be no, we cannot rest. That's a fine answer. We inhale, exhale, hands to the ground. Left leg back, lower through. If you wish, inhale, and exhale. Navel draws you back. Watching the tide of breath. Watching thoughts rise and pass. And then setting the knees down on the ground. And let's rise up onto the knees. So you may need your hands for this. I'm going to turn so you can see me. We'll cross the right leg in front of the left leg so the knees are together. And we've placed the fingertips on the floor at first. The feet are as wide as they can be, and they're kickstanding. They're pressing into the ground. We might rise up, and that rise might be impossible. We might have a block under the hands. Draw the feet downward, shin bones downward to whatever extent you can. Take the arms wide, almost like warrior two. And then left arm under right arm. Look familiar? Now, can you draw the outer hips inward? So you stopped at any bus stop along the way here. If you can, you take the arms up and then find space between the blades. Breathe into that space. Yes, this is a balanced pose. Inhale, exhale. Unwind if you made that choice. Slowly fingertips to the ground. Release the left leg. Bring it around the front. Take the shins wide. Pressing shins. All right, maybe we come up. This may need to be the work here as well. So we're interested in the work, whatever the work may be. Can the arms go wide is the next question. You'll notice as well that for some of us it's going to be difficult to feel as though we can actually get upright. So we work with what we have, as we're all learning how to do in a whole new way. Let the shoulders release because the arms are so extended. Okay, other side. Right arm might come under left. Palms might come together. This is the other choice there. And then, if you wish, arms go up. Can the outside of the hips hug in? And again, the answer may be no. Inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind. Bring the hands back down to the floor. Good. Take your legs back behind you. Downward dog or vinyasa. Settling the breath. Settling the body. Good. Dynamic. Dynamic with some rest. We inhale, exhale, knees bend, look past the hands, step or float forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, push the ground away, rising all the way up. Palms touch. Exhale, sit down. Take left leg now around right leg and right arm under left arm for eagle pose. Maybe the left foot hooks. Sitting in. Find your mountain. And maybe the arms extend. Hugging midline. Hugging midline like nobody's business. Maybe we come down a little lower. In fact, we're going to carve some space through the air as we see if we can bring the elbows down to the thigh. And I suggest drawing navel to spine and keep that as an anchor point. Then inhale, rising back up. Unwind that. Take the arms all the way up. Exhale, sit down. Right leg crosses over left leg. Maybe foot comes around. Left arm under right arm. Sitting down. Spine is vertical. Navel draws inward. And then like we're slicing the air. Slowly touch. Can the elbows come to the thighs? and then right back up. Unwind that. Arms go wide, foot comes to the floor. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, we lengthen. Exhale, step or float back, lowering through. Inhaling. Exhaling back, downward dog. Good, drawing pelvis up and back. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. Let's come down and rest for a moment. So in my curriculum in August, I mentioned this last week, we talked about resting a lot. It's August. You can feel there's this quiet coming in the air, at least where we live here in California, where there's a sense of we know what's about to happen, fall is coming. And it's just like a turning where it seems as though things settle a little bit. So we too want to see if we can cultivate or really drop in underneath the layers of agitation and see if we can find that sense of restfulness internally. And then when we find that sense of rest internally, can we bring that sense of rest to our actions? So there's always, we're not overdoing. Brahmacharya, the art of moving with wisdom through life. Completely present, less agitation, less frenetic. So slowly now, toes tuck under. Let's just sit down and appreciate the fascia at the soles of the feet. You know, when things get really intense, can we find a way to rest within that intensity? Sometimes yes, sometimes no, but I'm working on it, yeah? So let's begin again with crow pose. Hands to the ground, knees as close to the armpits as possible, or upper arms. Navel to spine. Navel to spine, one foot to center. The other foot to center. We are looking about 5 feet out in front of us. Heels up into the sit bones. We can begin to work to straighten the arms. Feel the fingertips like a crow pressing into the floor. Then feet down. Slowly come down, resting in Malasana. Garland pose. The arms press. Let the pelvis rest. Let the mind rest. Let the breath rest. Release the sit bones to the ground, please. Take your feet out in front of you, arms out. And we'll slowly, one vertebrae at a time, appreciating each vertebrae as we go slowly. Come down onto the back. Take the arms in cactus arms, draw the knees into the chest. So first, we'll take the legs out to the left, both together, knee on knee. Then scoot your right shoulder blade toward your left shoulder blade so they both can be down on the ground if that's an option. And then perhaps straightening one leg or both legs. Just be sure that the breath can be free. There's a sense of internal freedom in whatever shape we take. So we're not adding to the crazy push. We just allow these postures to open us instead of pounding on the door. If you wish to take this further, you can bend your left knee and send your leg so the knee draws away from the torso. Maybe the right hand could grasp the foot. Maybe the left hand can grasp the right foot. And we open out such that the blades come to the ground. And there may be a variety of different variations that you could take that work for your body. Let the right hip move away from the torso so the outer right hip and the rib cage are lengthening away from each other. Just like we were in the studio and I was able to take hold of your hip and extend it away. And then slowly inhale, come back up. Shift your hips a little bit over to the left and then legs out to the side. And maybe they straighten. And maybe you need to adjust the shoulder blades so they come back down to the ground. And then grow the space between the left hip and the rib cage. And if you wish to take this further, the right leg moves back behind you so the foot comes as close to the right sit bone as possible. The left hand finds the foot. Maybe the right hand finds the top leg. And the shoulder blades sink as the left hip moves away from the torso. And 2 more breaths. And then we inhale, come back up to center. All right. So now let's bring the knees back in and we'll cross the right leg over the left leg. We'll take the arms out to the sides in cactus arms and we are going to do a little experiment where it's called truth telling, where we probably can take the legs to the right pretty comfortably. See if that's true. Your left foot can be on the ground. And then we can inhale back up. And let's do 3 of those first. Yeah, great. And then 1 more for good measure, so 4 in total. And the legs can squeeze together and push downward any amount. Then inhale, come back up. Unwind your legs, cross left leg over right. Right foot can touch. We'll do the same thing now on the other side. Legs move to the left. Drawing the outer hips together if that's an option. Inhale back up. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. Noticing the shoulder blades. Ideally, they're down on the ground. Good, then we rise back up. Now we'll keep the legs as they are here. This is the part where the truth telling comes in. How does it feel when you take the legs all the way to the right here? For some of you with SI issues, it may feel too intense, in which case the legs are going to continue on to the left. If this feels okay, we'll do 4 of these. Inhaling and exhaling. And if you have the option of crossing your left foot around your right ankle, do that too, please. Okay, very good. Coming back to center, unwind, and right leg around left. The foot lands first, and then, here we go, over to the side. How is that? And 3 more. Yeah, so not demanding space, but just paying attention such that space, there's room. It's like you're making space for space. And last one. Alrighty then. Let's bring both knees into the chest. And take your arms forward. Draw your navel to your spine. And can you now ever so slowly round up to boat pose? Either keeping the thighs in, holding the thighs, or extending. Navel drops. Okay, with me so far? So we'll cross the right leg over the left leg here, and we'll take hold of what I often refer to as the handlebars in the Easy Rider movie, which most of you were not alive for. That's a good movie. Take the legs up. Draw your shoulder blades in toward each other. And there's just this unwinding. It's like the new peanut butter jar on both sides of the hips. Slowly opening. Good. Then gradually unwind that. Maybe the legs go wide. Maybe we touch the toes. And then let's come to the other side. Left leg around right. Navel's buried the whole time. Take hold. And listen. Listen to the hips. Drawing the blades together, feeling the muscles of the upper back draw to midline. Feet stay flexed. Shins are pretty high. All the while, steady breath. Inhaling. Exhale, unwind, feet go up, we might touch, and then slowly, slowly, soles of the feet come down, knees go wide, Baddha Konasana, let's fold forward here, slowly. So we want to make space, but we go first where there is space, and then we listen. And by listening, we'll find the subtle attunement. Maybe the soles press some more. Maybe we lengthen through the femur bones. Maybe we grow the spine. How can we create just a little bit more space for ourselves? And then once we found that space, let's relax and rest in that space. And by resting in that space, it inherently grows. Watching the breath. In fact, while we're here, lengthen the breath on the inhale. Lengthen the breath on the exhale. Can you feel in your next inhale that the whole body is breathing? Now gradually we inhale, rise up. Exhale, draw the knees together. We'll inhale back. Exhale forward. Inhale back. Exhale forward. One more time. And we'll land on the balls of our feet. We may need our hands to help us to get there. Okay, so now we're approaching what could be interpreted as challenging. We got to be careful about that interpretation though, because it will set us up for it to be challenging. Nonetheless, we want to be safe. So what I suggest, if you're new to side crow, which is where we're going next, which means we're going over here, and you happen to have a pillow in your life that's nearby, that pillow could go right here. But if we do this, and you watch me as if you're watching, sometimes we practice in front of a mirror when we do this, and we'll see ourselves. The catch here, in this case, is if we're moving to the right ear is going to pull us. So we would take the hands down and we make it a twist. And the navel draws into the spine, and we move the organs toward the liver on the right. Okay, so we're pretty deep in the twist. The armpit comes as close to the outside knee as possible. This may be your work today. This may be where you stop. The hands are down. So the first variation, we'll take the hip, the right hip, to the right elbow and we'll land it. Then the right ear extends like we're listening to a conversation that really matters, way out to the right, way out. So we're extending sternocleidomastoid, and then the feet may float off, and this may be where we go. Some of you will go on straightening the legs. Some of you may go on and take the left leg back behind you. Point the toes and grow your space here. Feel the fingertips press just like crow. Slowly release. Let's cool our jets. Sit bones to the ground, soles of the feet together, knees wide. This time, take the feet out a little bit and slowly fold forward, rounding. And let go of whatever happened there. So right back to making space. And sink into this breath. Since we're all human here, we know that those of us, which is probably all of us, who carry the past around with us, that takes up space. It sucks space from our lives, yes? And it's one reason that we are so fascinated with this moment. Because when this moment is all there is, that is the case. There is space. The old stories prevent potential. They prevent possibility. So we love the present moment because we all have so much potential and possibility right now. Draw the knees back in. Let's embark upon the experiment on this side. Back up onto the balls. Arms come around. Scoot your organs to the left. Just invite the organs over to the left. We want this connection right here to be pretty solid. Hands down. For our purposes this morning, the left hip comes to the left elbow. Some of you may be flying solo, well, not entirely solo, just on your right arm, and your left arm is free. And then the legs come off. You might straighten. You might extend. One at a time. Right leg back, left leg forward. Feel the left ear reaching. And then down we come. Sitting back down, take the legs wide now. Notice what happened there. and then let it go. Sit bones root, turn to the left, organs move to the left. We imagine that were so as the torso slowly makes its way over the right leg. The left sit bone stays rooted. The left arm might come up over the ear. Some of you might like to take the right arm back around, holding the hip and the thigh. Good. And here long enough for the room to open up on its own. Good. Left sit bone roots. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, turn now to the right. Inviting the organs to the right. And then right sit bone stays rooted, and the torso extends over the left leg. So this is one of the reasons that focus is so important, is that when we focus long enough, the space opens up. Good. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, pause. Good. Draw the legs together. So here comes the part where we're now moving into the big time experiment. And let's just acknowledge that it could be an utter disaster. The agreement that we make is that nobody hurts themselves, because I so wish I could see you right now. That pillow that's off to the side becomes tremendously useful. So where we go now is we come up onto the balls of the feet, and we see if, come up a little bit higher, see if you can cross the right leg over the left and then sit back down. Is that an option? Yeah, so right there, you may need a block under the hands. We're attempting to rest on the balls of the feet. That could be enough. We'll take the hands now over to the right. Looking familiar? Does it look like a Garudasana side crow? The palms come to the ground. We've got to twist in pretty deep. My right foot is flying. My right hip is coming to my right elbow. And my right ear is pulling off. If the feet come off the ground, you could tuck the right foot around the left. Squeeze, hug to midline. Then unwind that nonsense. Take the balls of the feet down, heels touch, knees go wide, pelvic floor lifts, hands either stay on the floor or palms come to prayer position. Feel the space here in the breath. Release the hands to the ground. Draw the legs back together. Lift up a little bit. Enough to take the right leg around the left. This may be the work. Maybe we come onto the balls of the feet. This may be the work. Maybe the hands come to the left. This may be the work. Maybe the hip sits down on the elbow. This may be the work. Maybe the left ear extends so far that the feet come off. That may be the work. And maybe the right foot comes around the left, and maybe it doesn't. That's the work. Okay, just working it out. Whatever we chose, there's still room. There's room to breathe. Unwinding, coming back now down onto the back. Soles of the feet together, knees go wide, arms beside us. Feel into the breath. So there was some intensity there. And I know in my life that that's when I lose myself, is when things get really intense. All of a sudden I'm caught up in the intensity and the stories start. And before I know it, I'm lost in the events. And I've lost contact with my true center. And if we just take our awareness down toward the chest, notice that we're being breathed. Notice that the heart is beating. Notice that we're here. True center. So can we stay with that experience no matter where we go in life? Now let's take a back bend just to empty out. We have choices. So some of us will take bridge pose. Some of us might take wheel from bridge. And some of us might slide the arms in under the back, taking the legs long and lifting the chest. And pretend it's Gavardasana if you choose fish, if you choose any of the back bends, where the midline is strong. And there's a sense of being breathed. And there's a sense of listening to the sensations that arise out of the beating heart through the body. And I'll give you 7 more breaths wherever you may be to enjoy that opening. Make it delicious. Wonderful. So let's slowly make our way back down on our back. And I'd like you to take your right hand to your belly and your left hand to the top chest above your heart. And if we had another hour together, or half hour even, I want to give you a breath practice that you could use this week if you have some time, because this is a practice that if you focus and you do it for some time, you absolutely get that the breath opens up. We'll inhale through the nose to the count of 4. We pause and hover the breath for 5. We exhale through the nose for the count of 5. Inhale 4. Pause 5. Exhale 5. Inhale 4. Pause 5. Hover the breath. Exhale 5. On your own now. Some of you may decide that you can exhale for 6. And you can stay with this breath count or release the arms beside you and let the breath go in Shavasana. Feeling this whole space of the body. We have names for everything in there. Just relax the names and feel into the space. And with the eyes closed, expand your awareness into the space around you, probably in a room. As if you could watch your body breathing. Here is my poem to you this morning. Do not try to save the whole world or do anything grandiose. Instead, create a clearing in the dense forest of your life and wait patiently there until the song that is your life falls into your own cupped hands and you recognize and greet it. Only then will you know how to give yourself to this world so worthy of rescue. So in our final few moments here, the whole body, we put ears all over our body. Tune into our listening heart. And we just simply, I invite you to ask the question, how may I be useful? Without spinning on it, without being concerned for the answer, we just live quietly and comfortably, resting in this question. And when you're ready, slowly draw your knees one at a time into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Send one arm up over the head, roll to the side. We find our way up to a comfortable seat. With a long spine. Building that staircase through the spine all the way to the top of the head, as if we've opened up the sunroof up there. And we rest in inner listening. Let's draw the palms together at the heart. We'll close with one Om Mani Padme Hum, our chant to cultivating generosity, patience, letting go, integrity, the joyful effort of practice, and listening, listening, listening within. Om Mani Bring the hands to the forehead, right thought. May we be steady. May we be present. May we be joyful. The hands come to the mouth, right speech. May our words improve upon the silence. And our hands come to our heart, right action. May we be the change that we wish to see. Namaste. So thanks for being with me. Thanks so much for being with me today. I wish you a beautiful weekend. Make the most of it, and let's practice the rest. And if you have a chance, try that 4-5-5 breath when you have a good amount of time. And I promise you that this room will open. It's a beautiful thing. Okay? Take care.